Hello, everyone. Oh, should have cleared my throat before doing that. It's been kind of a weird week for me. I've been here and there in terms of being sane, I guess. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of check in on Easteria and see where we're at because I put out the update and then I haven't really done much since then. So I kind of want to get a feel for what is the next step. Um, so that's what the plan is for today. Nothing, honestly, there isn't a plan. The plan is to look at the game and see what's next. Maybe discuss. If you guys have any questions, then we can talk about that. But other than that, I'm just gonna kind of hang out and, you know, blow off some steam in the land of Easteria. So, I don't know. Maybe can I switch this? Ooh, there we go. I don't have the camera. There we go. So we can just have it so the game is on and no distractions. So gotta get that guy out of here. Let's just, every time I think of something, I'm going to talk about it. So, one of the big things here is the limited inventory space. That's somewhat of a problem. There's a couple ways that I want to remedy that. First off, I want to, oh, it felt amazing. First off, I want to make things stackable. That's pretty big once range becomes more important, because obviously you can't have like individual arrows. That would just be stupid. So I'm trying to think of clever ways that I can work the data so that I don't have to have a bunch of variables associated or like a huge array associated with each item. The items are objects, so that's not a big deal. But when they're in the inventory, they're just a number. And so that is something that I've been thinking about, maybe doing something where it's like having decimals on the numbers. So like the first number is the indicator, and then like decimals after that would mean different things. So what I was thinking was that that could actually work in several ways. The first way that it could work is that I want to be able to have bags. I don't necessarily want to just give the user more item space. I think it's important that they have to kind of decide what they want in the beginning. And there's 5 slots, plus you can put literally anything into your hand and your attack slot. So there's 7 slots. And so, like, I can grab the sheet. I could put it in my hand slot, but I can put it in my attack slot and go into attack mode, and I can just go beat up some cows with a sheet. And for some reason that does more damage than my fist, which is pretty funny. But I would like say you have 2 beef. I want those to stack, so that you don't run out of inventory space so fast. That will solve the problem slightly, but then the permanent solution in the end is going to be to also have bags that you can like buy or find. So if that's the case, what I want to do is I want to have, it's a long shot, but I was thinking that a bag could be like a specific, it'll be a specific index, right? But then in terms of the decimal that's associated with that index, which it's going to be weird because I'll have to be able to round down constantly and keep the decimal stuff. I'll have to do some math with it, but it should save some data. I was thinking that it'd be cool if the decimal would like keep track of what items are in the bag. So you could think of like, um, let's say that you had the bag, just arbitrary numbers. Let's say bag was index 5, and then what you could do is if there were 4 slots in the bag, then it could be 5 point, and then first the 4 decimals that would be after that, or the four numbers digits that would be after the decimal, would be the indexes of the items. Um, would be the indexes of the items in the bag, and it gets kind of weird because I know that the indexes are going to go to higher digits. Um, so like they're going to be more than one digit at some point. Um, so I think it would have to be something where I would like space it out with zeros, um, and then uh, work with it from there, which will make things a lot more complicated. But um, you know, I've kind of been going by the just make it work, don't make it pretty standard here, and I guess in this sense, I wanted to be kind of creative in how it was working. It would be so much easier to just consider them objects instead of what they are right now, which is just a single data point. Um, then that single data point is used as a reference to see what things need to be put into the slots. Um, but I would like to play around with it a little bit to see what can be done in terms of that. So, yeah. Trying to think of other stuff. Well, there's this whole area over here, um, which that's gonna be there's gonna be another town eventually that will be kind of at the end of the forest in a sense. So it'll be over here, but like down and to the left, so like diagonally downwards. Um, and then and that one should be it won't be as like primitive as the fishing village. The fishing village isn't supposed to be like dense the way a city would be. It's supposed to just be a village. The fishing village does need a couple more buildings though. I do want to have a general store, and I want to have like a manor. That's something that I had. The manor is something that I had in the original game, and eventually, with the addition of a general store, the fishing rod won't just be sitting on the ground. It'll be something that you have to like earn money, or like do a quest for. And I think I'm gonna make it so there's options. I kind of thought it'd be funny if there was a quest where there was a guy fishing here, and you could just choose to like steal the fishing rod from him and push him in the water. Which maybe that would need like a certain amount of theft or something like that. But the whole idea was that I want to give the user options, because I don't want this game to be like a defined lineage of how things happen. I want this game to be constant exploration and just kind of finding things on your own, doing things how you want to do them, and yeah, that's the whole goal. It's supposed to just kind of be quirky and dense with material, which right now it may have the quirky factor, but it's not necessarily dense. Um, there's a lot of open space, and the open space can be artistic, but in sense that like if you're right here, you can't see anything else other than this path up here. I really need to be able to fill in those gaps, because it just makes it look kind of lazy and spread out. Um, but if I'm able to fill in the gaps a little, what the heck? I turned the music on. If I'm able to fill in the gaps a little bit more, then it will look a lot nicer. One little aesthetic thing I was thinking about doing was to go in and it'll take some time. It might be something where I just like do like a Q&A or something, if I can actually get people to watch the stream. Um, but what I want to do is I want to texture the grass. That's something that will definitely take some time. And it may be something that I want to do like individually per panel. Um, so I don't know if that's worth my time, but I just think that would look a lot cooler if it was more pixely and not kind of like just solid colors. Kind of like how like when you get to the actual buildings, like this building over here, I think I textured the roof a little. I think that looks a little cooler. I realize that this building is the only building that has an outline, um, but I kind of just want to leave it because that's kind of the point of the game is of the design of the game is to just be random. Because if you look at, I think even on the map, I keep hitting the wrong button. On the map, yeah, it has the border, but then if you go down here, I really need to fix the buttons on here. If you go down here, all these don't have borders, they just have doors. Whereas this one has a border with a hole in it. So it's like all the other buildings are the inverse of that one. Um, and I don't know why. Even I think even in my first like iteration, that was just kind of like a mess around adventure game. Um, the I think that was how I did it. So it's kind of funny that um, I just did that again naturally. Um, yeah, I think I can't remember if I've ever played the first version on the stream, but yeah. So let's see, what else can we do? Um, well, so one thing that needs some work is combat, because right now combat is available. You can attack the cows, but they don't attack back, and I don't think I want them to attack back. Kind of their whole thing is that they're supposed to somewhat run away, which they're kind of bad at. But like let's see if I get the sheet. I'll beat them with their meat. If if I leave them on low health and they move a lot faster. You can see that they're moving around a lot faster. The weird thing is that they have to start moving first. Like the speed change doesn't happen until the initial move. You can see the animation went crazy. Uh, but yeah. Um, ooh, that was weird. I got a glitch. Is that agility from sprinting around? But yeah, so the skill tree here isn't that crazy. Agility literally doesn't have anything right now. I don't know what it's gonna be, but yeah, I have this. I have this. Oh god. I have this skill tree that's just the stand-in skill tree for skills that don't have any skills yet. I use skills for too many different concepts. But um, basically, every time you get 5 levels, you can just check a box. It doesn't give you anything. Whereas if you do stuff in attack, these actually do stuff. So that's a little more interesting. But I need to fix the double tap on picking things up, because that was a quick fix um, for if you had several things on the ground, then it would pick up all of them, like if they were in a stack on the ground. And I wanted you to be able to pick up individual ones, so you would pick up whatever was on top of the pile. The problem with that is that for whatever reason, the solution to that I put in makes it so that the first time that you press enter, it doesn't work, which that's literally just a glitch, and it's annoying. It's not like cute in the way that some of the glitches are. Um, so I need to put some work into it. This is kind of abysmal casting. There we go. I guess there's still that glitch. Well, it's not a glitch, but there's an exploit that you can use uh, when fishing, where if you hook onto something that is too weak to break the line ever, then you can just kind of strategically drag it around the pond, and um, it will just constantly raise your fishing level because you get experience from reeling in. But the the kind of counter to that is the tarpon. Um, the only place that you really find things like the bass are the ones that are weak in terms of breaking the line. Um, the tarpon break lines like crazy. Um, there's also a lot of problems in terms of little things with fishing. Like if you're standing in a different chunk and you cast your line out of that chunk into a different water source, like let's say I don't know. I think there's a border. Let me see 3. It's kind of you can see the line down here that makes up where this chunk ends. So let's say I cast my line into the water here and then I stand over here to fish. Well, if the fish gets to the end of the chunk, then it just becomes caught. And there's some weird things that happen because I think it drops the fish item in the area that you're standing in, but it doesn't drop it in the area. It drops it where the fish is caught. So then if you try to go get it, then the picture of the area that you're entering, it's really complicated, is pasted over top of the fish. So then you can't see the fish and you can't pick it up because you're not in the area. um, Hopefully I'll catch this redfish. Oh, come on. You are right next to it. Not sure how the fish did not bite the line there. There we go. Ah, yeah, redfish are pretty good at snapping the line too. I gotta say, like I do really like the fishing though. There's a lot of kinks in it, but um, there's like little details that I'm really happy with, which like the way the fish act being so different. Um, and I really like the design of the fish when you actually catch them. Like I think that's my favorite uh, piece of art so far. It's always nice to make people's faces, but the fish I really put some thought and detail into. The only thing I don't really like is the animation of the tarpon rolling, but I mean it doesn't look too bad. So there's also a problem of if you stand too long in one area and there's a lot of water around you, then a lot of fish will spawn and it slows the game down. Um, but uh, that's that's probably a problem for future Jono. Um, I don't think that I have the skills at the moment to optimize the game. Um, and it's something that the speed's just gonna get worse and worse as I add more stuff. So at some point, I'm going to have to put more strict buffers on everything, but for right now, it's bearable. So it's not too big of a problem. This is unbearable though. I just want to catch a fish, man. All right, we can go to the kind of broken spot. This is one of those situations. So I think I actually casted it too far. Um, there's kind of a weird spot here with the way that the chunks line up because if you are standing exactly on the bridge, then yeah, if you're standing on the bridge, then it there's a tiny space the above the bridge that is still in that area, and so fish can spawn there, but they don't have that much space to move around. So if you put your line there, then it's a little easier for the fish to run into you because it's less likely that they'll like swim all the way down river and not be next to your line. There's actually one pretty close right now. It is almost on top of the line. There we go. Got a fish. What else is there? I want to add. So there's a couple more areas I want to add in. Oh, there's a place down here. Hey, is that Maynard or I see Mate Boy? Um, but obviously they know my name. There's this cul-de-sac right down here, and I wanted to kind of make a little like a couple huts and just put some Easter egg characters in here that you can come chat with. My thought was to kind of pay homage to um, some of. Oh, I'm glad I guessed correctly. That would have been weird. But what's up, Christian? Um, the yeah, I wanted to kind of pay homage to any like of the people who have played the game or helped me along the way. But um, I was just gonna throw in a couple uh, characters you can come talk to, and they won't really have any like quests or anything. They're just kind of like space filler, but it would be to kind of take a nod to people who had helped me along the way. Um, let's see. I I have my Fortnite buttons like memorized, so every time I go to hit the map, I hit the wrong button now. Oh God, my cousin just went live. I hope we have enough upload. Is the stream doing anything? Well, it says we got 2 viewers, but one of those might be me. So, um, but yeah, the stream health seems fine. So I guess we're doing okay. But yeah, let's see. So yeah, I wanted to have a manor up here, like a larger house that's kind of supposed to be like the founder of the fishing village or whatever, and then um, I want to have a general store, and I think the general store should be like here-ish, or it could be over here on the circle. Um, but that's the idea. The general store obviously is so you can get rid of your junk, gain some coin, and be able to buy things. Um, obviously there isn't much to do with the currency right now other than like buy alcohol and go to sleep. Uh, but I I mean a lot of people only do that anyways. So that's all money is for. That's right. Um, Haha! I have your head. Um, oh god, the trees are overlapping. Yeah, this is completely random. Where these spawn, so that can happen at any point in time. But um, I do really like the little icons for the fishing, and I'm sad that well, I guess the fishing's fairly fleshed out compared to most things. Let's go drag a bass around a lake. Oh god. Yeah, some weird stuff's happening. I think because of the fact that I'm streaming, uh, I'm getting this glitch where it's not realizing that I stopped pressing an arrow key. So then it just keeps me gliding in that direction, but then for whatever reason, um, it doesn't have the running animation. Yeah, there it goes. I think that's because too much is happening at once on my computer, but it may be just a game problem. I'm sure there's a more robust way that I could be dealing with things. I forget if I nerfed this or anything. Um, I can't remember if it gets like extremely hard after a certain level. Alright, I'm just gonna catch it. My inventory's full. Let's drop some beef. Beat up the cows with a fish. Oh dang, that does some damage. I think the big fish, like if you get a oh man, that is happening a lot. If you get like a size 5 fish, then it can one shot the cows if you just whack them with the fish. Long arms. Long arms doesn't do much Not, but it's gonna be the range track. So after you get it, then you'll be able to throw things, which that'll be more advantageous. Um, get some fast arms going though. Oh, and you got fishing. What do we want? I really like the bait line because it's just funny. I gotta get those googly eyes. I also like to see the the fishing line just flailing around on the ground. um, you can see the fish chasing the line. That was one of the things I was really happy with. Oh, it ran up on shore. Because even if you can't see the fish, you can see the line start to run, and you know that a fish is looking at it. Because it moves randomly, but then if there's a fish chasing it, it moves away slightly. The fish is always faster. That's the thing. So it's not a disadvantage. It's an advantage because the fish is attracted to it. But it's a it kind of just gives a visual cue and makes it look more realistic. The only problem is if it gets to the shore. So if you get to the shore, then the fish can't bite it anymore, and the bait is just flopping around on land. Um, it's a little more satisfying to watch though, as opposed to just waiting with your line in the water with no movement at all. All right. Well, I'm gonna go just mess around on the river. Actually, I'll kill all the cows first. How you been, Maynard? If you're still watching. I think that was a run. Ooh, that's a redfish. What do I want to drop? Yeah, so like I have no idea if there's a fish here, but the the bait kind of moves around a little, so makes things interesting. And it doesn't it does attract fish if they're nearby, but it also kind of it's an advantage because like if a fish is outside of the range where it would attract it, it can flail its way into that temporarily, if anything, and then that at that point the fish will catch the scent, I guess, and start chasing it. Um, yeah, I'm not sure much else I want to talk about unless anybody watching has any questions. I definitely would be willing to answer those about the game. Yeah, because I can't think of too much more. There's a kind of like a another hotel that I want to put in that kind of has a gimmick. I have some ideas for some horror stuff. I also just want to do like a game jam or something. I think that it'd be nice to just kind of have a small project to work on for like a week or two. Um, and obviously, like I don't have any really like ideas for what that would be. That's something that I would just like see that there was a game jam going on and go for it. But if I do that, I probably would stream most of that, um, and just try and have fun with it. I'm confused because my computer's on half power, but it's been plugged in for like days. So I'm not sure what that deal is, but it's plugged in but not charging. What is what does that mean? Maybe I put some power settings so that it wouldn't waste power by charging when it doesn't need to. I don't know. Looks like we're back down to one viewer, which is probably just me. This does not seem to be the fishing spot, I'll tell you that. Oh, fish on the line. The snook. Yeah, there's a snook. Alright. Well, I don't have too much more I want to talk about. I don't want to drag it out if there's not much to talk about. How long have I been talking? I've been talking for 38 minutes? Is that serious? Wow. Alright, well, I kind of felt like I was talking for like 15 minutes, but I guess time flies when you're talking about a game. I don't know. But yeah, I really want to get back into streaming more often. I really want to just kind of have fun with it in a sense. I don't want it to feel like a responsibility. So I'm not gonna have like a schedule or anything, but yeah, no, I just want to make sure that I have some time for it and enjoying what I'm doing. So that's why I want to do the game jam, just to kind of give myself a break from such a large project. I want to, I don't know, I might try and throw on like Fortnite or something, but I know my computer's had trouble with it in the past, streaming and playing at the same time, especially since it's pretty much necessary for me to set up a second monitor. And since Fortnite's already pretty graphics intensive, that really messes things up, given that I'm just running off of a laptop. But yeah, I'm gonna sign off. Let my cousin handle all the upload so that it's not causing him problems. But thanks for watching if you did. Thanks Maynard for coming out if you're still watching, and I will see you next time.